What's up, folks? This your boy Demacia. I guess I'm here today to talk about the 90s, man. I'm kind of new to all this stuff still. Not new to it. I'm good at running my mouth. I'm just still new to talking to the camera. Something in me for the last little bit of time been telling me to go ahead and talk to y'all. Don't mind me. I'm working on something, trying to get something together for the wife. But yeah, I've been looking at life for the last ever since I've been living, right? And make a long story short, I got a little age on me, but not too much, right? I remember back in the mid '90s, I was old enough to remember that. I was already off the porch. They started having this what was it? The market slowed down. That's what it was. There was a corporate restructuring that took place in the mid '90s. If anybody on here remember that, and what happened during this corporate restructuring was a lot of big companies like Bell South, AT&T, stuff like that. It was Southern Bell back then, but remember they rebranded themselves, as Bell South all of a sudden and whatnot, because they had a lot of money that they supposedly lost. You get what I'm saying? And they ended up laying off a lot of people in the midst of that money being lost because the market got upset, and kind of flip-flopped all of a sudden, right? Something to that degree anyway, right? Y'all, this is the land of Google now. So anyway, y'all can look this stuff up, and we're gonna get to that, but I ain't talking about that yet, right? Alright, so we had to slow down in the economy, and they had these massive layoffs in the mid '90s. Where I remember a lot of my buddies, their parents was getting laid off left and right. They was getting severance pay and stuff, but that wasn't, same type of money anyway. They were getting severance pay and stuff, but that wasn't a lie. Eventually, everything handled itself, and people went back to work, you know what I mean, and found other stuff to do. The money was a little different. Sometimes the money was the same. But what had happened during that time is the cost of everything started going up because of the market upset, and now things got to kind of, all the loans and debt that was given out to help stabilize the economy and whatever had to be paid back. So of course, you got some extra money to kick around out there now. See, y'all gonna make me stop working on this for a minute. I don't feel like doing it anyway. I'm just messing with it. I ain't lying. So yeah, this was in the mid '90s, right? Okay. Now in the middle years of the 2000s, I was there, but I disappeared for a while, about 3 years. However, I wasn't, I paid attention to what's going on out here. I paid attention to what was going on out here still. Anyway, again, here it is, 10 years later, we went through 2000, what was that, 8, I want to say, right around the time I was getting ready to get out. We had another big bubble, and that was the housing bubble. I think in the 90s it was the tech bubble, is what it was, or the dot-com bubble. It was one of them bubbles that was created, right? Now, let me back up for a minute, right? Here go the thing. Ooh, stomach talking. I need to go eat, but I'm gonna make these points real quick before I see my phone even know it's time to go eat. That's Google talking to me, right? So anyway, during that tech bubble or the dot-com bubble or whatever it was in the mid '90s when the jobs was gone and everything else, man, when the jobs came back, but a lot of the jobs had changed because of the tech bubble or the dot-com bubble, whatever it was. I'll try and figure that out, and by the time I post this video, I'll hopefully let you guys know what that is. But yeah, so a lot of things were different because new technology was implemented into the workplace so that certain things would not occur in the future. that was likely to occur. I remember back in the 90s, they thought 99 that the world was going to end. Remember that one? The 2K bubble, when no clocks and no computers was really programmed to go to 2000. You know, everything was 1999, and that's why Prince's song was so famous, you know, about, and tonight we're gonna party like it's 19. Yeah, that shit. Alright, so, but yeah, so anyway, technology, you know, they fixed everything, got it ready, it was nothing, you know, we was all scared for nothing, and I was in New York at the time, I'm not even gonna flex. I jumped the hell up out of New York before the ball dropped, because I did not want to be there if anything did happen. I'd rather be at home in Miami with my people than to be up in New York in some strange land with people that I don't know, but they were cool. I had my birthday party and everything up there. By strangers. They were cool in Brooklyn. Hey, but yeah, so anyway, technology came into the workplace by the time we came back in the 2000s. And then in 2008, we had the housing crisis. So that was a bubble that was created, and that's a whole nother story I'll get into at another time, but not right now. But anyway, that was a bubble that was created, and during 2008, once again, a lot of people lost their jobs. Around that time, they were already arguing over income and everything else, the minimum income, minimum wages, and there was a bunch of other mess going on. We was waiting on Nibiru to come around and hit the earth and kill everything, and you know, there was a lot of mess going on. But anyway, lo and behold, we had that, and that was an election year, ain't that something? But but yeah, anyway, so 2008, all the mess happened, and by 2009, 2010, we ended up having all of that stuff kind of change. Let me check the film real quick. Yeah, by 2009, 2010, all of that began to change. So we go back to work, or they go back to work, the people go back to work, and when we go back to work, now slowly but surely we're starting to see, go into your local grocery store and you see a kiosk there. And that kiosk, you know, has a little laser thing and everything there. It's like a cash register without a cash register, no attendant. And now you can go in these lines and you can stand there and just swipe real quick. While everybody else is standing in long lines, you know, of only 6 tellers, 6 lines, there's 6 machines in this one little area that 6 people can go and check themselves out. You know, all at the same time. Get out, get on. Keeps everything moving a lot faster, and you don't have to worry about a rushed cashier who's not really wanting to play or talk or communicate with you too much, because she has a job to do and she's trying to do her job, or he's trying to do his job. You know, they're trying to do their job. No attitudes, no nothing. You know, because this is automated. So automation came into the workplace again, and it took away some jobs. So there was less need for these workers, right? And remember, this is 2008, you know, on forward. It's 2020 now. Well, let me back up. Okay, so 2000 and I want to say 9 or 10, you know, we had the Android phone. I think 2001 we got the 2G. We got 2G. And around 2009, 2010, something like that. I used to sell the phones, man. I used to sell them hot. So I remember. But yeah, when they first came out. But 2010-ish, we got, no, excuse me, yeah, 2010-ish anyway, we got 4G. And when we got 4G, we began to have video and everything else on our phone, right? And this brought in something new. So these past 10 years, we've seen companies like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, I don't know, Musically, which is now TikTok, all these different companies that just came up out of the woodworks, including Google. They blew up, got big, turned into Alphabet Soup, Inc., you know what I mean? But yeah, so you watched all this stuff happen, right? And in the midst of all of this happening, now there's a whole new economy that jumped up, just like during the tech bubble. You know, there was a lot of technology, a lot of techies jumped on the scene. You get what I'm saying? A lot of new techies jumped on the scene. Not that they weren't there, it was a lot of new ones that came. And it got real big all of a sudden, like Bitcoin. Bitcoin was small. It was trading for nothing. And then something happened and it got big, right? Because it was a spotlight on it all of a sudden. It became the it. Um, yeah, so during all of these bubbles, we've seen changes in the economies, the workplaces, right? And these changes in the economy and the workplace has, like I said, created a new society or a new job market. Let's put it that way. There's a new job market out there, right? And it's always been there. It's not that it's new. It's just that a lot of people don't think twice about it, you know. And because they're not, they don't think about it because we're not trained to think about that kind of stuff. We're trained to, uh, you know, the majority of us, I feel, are told to go to school to get good grades. Maybe you can go to college to get a degree in something so that you can get a really good job. But if you don't go to college, at least you can finish school and get your diploma, and then you'll be able to work somewhere. Keep your credit good, because if you keep your credit good, you'll be able to borrow money from other people and purchase your house, and you can pay them back over time. And you can purchase a car and you can pay them back over time, right? And maybe other things that you need, you'll be able to purchase and you can pay it back over time, right? So we were told to go to school, get good grades, listen to what other people tell us to do what they tell us to do, don't question what they say do. Go get a job, take this job, do exactly what you was doing in school at this job for 8 hours a day, sometimes more if you really want to make some money. And so let's see, learn to listen, obey, and work for somebody else who tells you what to do, right? And if you're really lucky, you'll go to certain schools that will teach you how to be the supervisors or managers, overseers of the people who only know to go to work and do what somebody else tells them to do. However, you're doing the same thing. But I digress. I move back from that. Just saying, this is what's been going on that field, right? And then you have these people that they just wake up in the morning and they figure out, if they didn't know last night, they know this morning. They're going to figure it out today. What it is they want to do on a cell phone. What it is they want to talk about on their cell phone. If they want to be funny, if they want to be serious, if they want to, whatever. And then they make this content and they post it out there. And companies that have grew up in the last 10 years and some plus actually starts to two different economies, right? One economy is a working class and one economy is a digital class. The digital class right now is whipping the hell out of the working class. Reason being is because the digital class, if you want to consider it minimum wage, they are on average making $50,000+ per year right now. And that just means that they're constantly posting content that people want to hear or read, because sometimes these are just blog pages, pages where you go to and you get your information from. And on those pages you see a lot of different ads ran by different corporations or companies. These people are creating different streams of revenue versus having to go to work every day and having to be there in the morning. These people can skip days, sometimes whole months, and still receive pay every day, sometimes at least every month, or a few times out the month, from different sources. We got an economy out here that are workers that their jobs are disappearing because right now, due to the cough, you see less waitresses, you see less, hell, you name it, less warehouse workers, less meat packers, less the cattle people are losing it, the pig folks losing it, you name it, it's being affected right now by the cough. And because of this, A lot of companies are going to more autonomous ways of production. Um, Even drivers, look at the Uber and Lyft situation. You got companies out here like Waymo, which is one of Alphabet Inc.'s babies. Uh, so you know they're going to go. You got companies like Tesla. Uh, you got companies like Chevrolet, believe it or not, getting ready to throw a plant out in Detroit, I believe it is. Call it Ground Zero. And they have a car called the Chevy Cruze Origin, which they plan on having out in a few years. Um, they already have it out, and I believe it's already being used, but I know they're going to have it out definitely on the public here in the U.S. in just a matter of 2 years or so. Tesla is going to start dropping he plans by next year to give you a $25,000 car that drives itself. And although a lot of people are scared of letting the car drive itself, I guarantee you when the government starts to give tax credits on that $25,000 car and making it where you're probably only paying 15 or less for it, it's going to be a lot of people buying Teslas. It's going to be a lot of people buying those kind of cars. And then with the Cruze Origin prototype, or that model, because it's not even a prototype, it's a real car, they're saying, well, no, they don't even have a steering wheel in this car. Yeah, you sit facing each other. Go check it out. I'm trying to put that picture up here for you too. Hope I don't get copyright hit for all of this, but I'm just dropping knowledge and letting you guys know this is what it is. So if you're upset that the job market is disappearing, well, get in line, because once upon a time, think about it, man. If all you knew was to go out here and pick fruit off a tree for a living, this is how you made your living, this is how your family have made their living for generations. The pay still is about the same. It's just a little bit more now. You get what I'm saying? But here it is now that you're going to go and create a machine that comes out here and picks these fruit easily. Those fruit pickers are going to be pissed to see this machine come in. They're going to be in awe because, damn, the machine does way more than one of us can do. I mean, it would take 10 of us to do what this machine can do. Right? But you'll also be scared because now I got to learn something else. And that's where we get scared, because we don't want to try something new. We get stuck wanting to do the same old thing. The purpose of me making this video is to explain to you guys that I created the page Digital Dollars for you to help you understand that there's digital money out here. The digital money is a lot more available and obtainable than the physical money. The physical money is me as a mechanic having to go out here and talk to people and get cash. You know, it's gotten to a point where most people don't even have cash. Before I stopped doing this, everything went digital. It's like everybody wants to pay you on some type of digital app. Either they're going to Cash App me, they're going to PayPal me, they want to Zelle me, they want to Venmo me, they want to, you know, all these different apps, Shine Me, Varo, you name it, Facebook Pay, I've done it all, Google, I've done it all, and I still use some of it, you know, a lot of it. But that's where it went to all of a sudden. See, so even the physical world is trying to show you that we're going digital. They started singing the songs and making the music in the 90s that we were going digital. We're about to go digital. We're going digital. And if we aren't there, well, damn, we're mighty close. A little more info for you. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's true, and you can go back and read it. It's everything's public, so I'll try and find it and put it here. But back when the Affordable Health Care Act got placed, it said in that act, in that agreement, contract, law, that let's see, it said that all government facilities had to be online by 2020. And meaning that all government facilities, the utility companies, the hospitals, the courthouses, if it was anything that dealt with government stuff, um, things that the government had under its thumb, then it needed to be online. And the reason why is because the government want to see everything as fast as possible. It don't make sense to do all this paperwork. We're not in a paperwork society anymore. I don't even write too much anymore. I do more typing and texting than I do actually picking up a pen and a paper and writing a letter. 20 years ago, this was not the case. 15 years ago, it was not the case. I did more writing than anything else, except for talking. You understand? All of that has drastically changed in the last 10 years. Um, 10 plus. You know, like I said, it created something that made it easier for us to be able to live and sustain in the society that we are building right now, or that's being built for us. It's something that we grew up waiting on. We watched the Jetsons. We wanted to see the flying cars and the this, that, and the other. We all get excited when we see this kind of stuff. I know you're scared of it. I'm scared of it too. I don't really know if I wanted it or not. However, people have always been scared of change, and new stuff is always weird territory because we never really know what this new stuff is going to invoke or bring along with it. Meanwhile, it's here, and it's been here. And if you're not on board, then you kind of stand in quicksand, waiting to drown. It's slower than water, but it's still happening.